Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we are returning to the Water World mod to showcase the Bluebird K7 speedboat, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a small non-combat civilian vehicle for you to ride around on the water for your enjoyment. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 763 small blocks using no mods and of course no DLC packs, but you will need the water mod in order for this to function, because if you try to use it without, you're going to have a very bad time. Yes, there is some information about the Bluebird K7 right here, and of course all the stuff about the ship below it. So we'll give that a little thumbs up and then move all the way around to the very front and have a quick look around the outside. So at the very front here, this is what we get. We got a bunch of lovely light blue blocks that go all the way around this ship. On the left and the right hand side, we got our flotation devices, which is how we're going to stay afloat with this mod. Of course, we need to use hydrogen tanks with them full of hydrogen in order to stay afloat. And that is what we got. We got 4 on both sides. And coming across over to here, onto this side, we can see they've been neatly covered up. If you were to continue around the side, we've got an LCD screen with K7 written on it, and we've got our fighter cockpit just right over here to drive this thing around. We've of course got an air vent in there to suck in any kind of oxygen, and we've got some good use of the window blocks just for some added decoration. If we continue along the side there, we see an antenna sticking out the top with 2 little spiky blocks, or corner spiky blocks, just to break up the main body of the ship. Got an access point on the side, and as we continue around to the very back, we've got a black, yellow, and a red random block. Moving all the way around to the very back here, this is what's going to push us around. We have got one large atmospheric thruster with a few more hidden away inside. So coming into here, we've got a few more inside, and then continuing along, there is a large reactor and a few more atmospheric thrusters to help push us around. Also, just to come out of there and start dropping down underneath, there's our fake little propellers or the little fins at the back of the ship, even more hydrogen tanks to make sure we don't sink with this thing, then moving all the way around to the front. There we go. And in case you're wondering, yes, we do have fishies. They've actually spawned for me this time, which is very nice. Anyway, up and above here, not too much else to talk about. We've got some more yellow and white blocks. There is our fighter cockpit, there's the 2 little spiky blocks, and there is the fin at the back. So getting into my character and bringing up the HUD, we've only got 2 options for this, and that is to turn on and off our atmospheric thruster, and of course our antenna to make sure we can always find this thing. So on the water, we're just going to go straight forwards, and this is what we get. We've got some nice speed with this. We're going to be fairly limited because there is drag with the water, and we will need to be very careful of any kind of hidden rocks under here, because it can be quite lethal just to slam into them. And fun fact, the water default spawn on the alien planet submerged the starting base. Coming to a stop, we are pretty damn fast, but it does take a little bit to go to 0. In fact, you may not even go to 0, we'll probably hover around 1 like we are right now. So you may need to use the admin menu to force yourself to stop. So coming over to here, pressing stop. There we go. Moving left and right, we have no control whatsoever because we can't do that because we are a traditional boat. Moving backwards, we do have a tiny bit of thrust, but it's not as much as moving forwards. Going down, of course, and going up will do nothing. So now what we can do is bring up this and increase our wave scale. So we're currently set to 0, so we're not going to be bobbing around too much. I'm going to set this to 1. Now we've got a nice little rough sea, or not really rough sea, still more of a calm sea to drive along. But that's not good enough. We can see ourselves bobbing around there. Let's make this even worse. And here we go, we're now bobbling around a little bit more. I was changing the wrong control. So let's now bump this up to 10, shall we? There we go, that's much better. Look at that go. We're now we're almost tipping over actually. This is quite scary. In fact, that's a little bit probably too much for YouTube. So we're just going to very quickly just switch you back down to 0 before someone has an epileptic fit. But we have somehow flipped ourselves over and we are upside down. So now we are a submarine technically. And yes, it's a very odd situation to be in. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the Bluebird K7. It's pretty self-explanatory with what it does, and this sure does look weird how it's all been done like this. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, it's a very nice little ship to play around with if you are interested in just moseying about the water mod. And there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do want to do that. And I do really want to just whack this all the way up to like 100. Just for the laugh of it. Oh god, that is horrible. What do we look like? Those are some gigantic waves to the point it's breaking the textures. I will not go back to my character because, yeah, it's probably not too good for your eyes to be looking at that. Anyway, as I said, there'll be a link to it in the description below. And I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.